All right, Bob. This is the third show. Behind the Laughter at BeTerrific.com. We're still here.
We're still here, and that's why I said I'm going to wear the same shirt until they throw us off.
That's funny because you know what? Obviously, we had to film 2 shows in one day because
We did?
we did, believe it or not, because we're dressed the same. And I'll tell you why. I wouldn't have to say that. But you ever go to a store and that sweater looks real good on a mannequin? You're like, fuck it, it's gonna look great on me.
Yeah.
It didn't fucking look good on me.
No.
So
No, that's
I was gonna make you guys watch me look like an idiot on show. So yeah, so
That's why I don't shop.
I know.
I get something that fits, and that's it. I just wear it until it doesn't wear anymore.
Until it walks away.
Yeah, until it's like falling apart. I can't deal with it anymore, and like that's how I am. Because everything looks good. You know, I end up going clothes shopping. I buy all this stuff. Like I'll spend whatever $200 something, and then none of it, not even the shirts I'm wearing. You know what I mean? In a month, I'm like, well, I wasted fucking money on that.
We'll go to Kohl's Cash.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's like I never looks good. You know, the girl lies to you and tells you how nice you look, and she don't
Of course,
care.
she's making money off of
I
you.
know, but you know, I believe her because I'm pretty.
Because she's pretty.
I'm pretty.
Oh, you're pretty.
We're both pretty.
Speaking of fashion plates, let's introduce our comedian this weekend, Mr. John Kensil.
Hey, everybody.
John, look at you.
Look at Mike. Big Lebowski.
Is that?
I thought it was Macho Man Savage on AIDS.
Yeah. It looks like Jimmy Graham.
It does. That's what it is, though. When you get older, you try and look younger. You wear
Yeah,
kind
see,
of
you
vintage
can-
shirts.
Philadelphia Flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, people got to stop
Bringing
doing
in
that.
Pennsylvania comics now,
Oh,
Bob.
that's what it is. Because Pennsylvania, like I moved into that comedy, you know, whatever Mecca, if you want to call it. Like you know, I was from New York first, and then when I started, I was kind of Staten Island, you know, and then I went to the middle of Jersey. Then I ended up in South Jersey. Now I'm near Philly, and then like it was a whole
You're
different.
609 or 856?
I was 609 first, and yeah, I was in Princeton, and I was in the middle. But then I moved down to Westville, and that's right outside, you know.
That's Trout. Mike Trout was born there, right?
No, Millville. He was
Millville.
born. You know
Westville,
what I mean?
Millville, same shit.
I think I'm still the only living
Successful
celebrity.
person out of Westville?
Yeah, except for this guy that was a mechanic. I think it's me and him. That's about it. Yeah, in Westville.
wow.
It's not a big
Not even like a
celebrity.
murderer, like
nah, we didn't have. We couldn't even.
Serial killer, nothing?
It was only a mile wide
Ah,
town.
shit.
So basically, I'm the celebrity, and during the parade, it's a hell of a block.
So, Mr. Kensil being from Pennsylvania, obviously there's got to be a Pickleman story.
Oh yeah, Pickle
I mean,
Man.
and his name is
Now explain
precedes
Pickle
itself.
Man what he was, like what he is first. Like before you got to know what he is before you hear any of the stories. He sold pickles, right?
Yes.
And he would drive them in a pickle truck to stores and try to sell pickles.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, then he had, what does he have, a toilet? Like he
Oh, well, he always envisioned himself as a comedian, and he knew like old bar jokes. And he would go to bars, and he would tell the old jokes, but he had one of those tricycle bikes that old people ride down the boardwalk.
Yeah.
3-wheeled bikes.
with the big handle in the
But for
front.
some strange, weird reason, he thought it'd be funny to take the seat off and make it a full-size working toilet. And he would just ride it on stage, and he would say, "Poop, there it is." And it was so like unfunny. It was just a strange spectacle to see because he used to be built like the Philly Fanatic. He was really
yeah,
huge.
yeah. He looked like an eye drop.
Exactly. Yeah, and he wore
Like a teardrop from your eye.
oh, and
An
he
eye
wore
drop.
but he wore a really bad Rod Stewart wig. And it was just a spectacle
Yeah,
to
folks,
see.
it gets better. Okay.
But this guy actually booked gigs.
He did.
When a lot of comedians,
And comedians got excited when they saw his phone call.
yeah, it was work, and you think, oh, but
You
then
guys think it's easy out there.
Yeah, when
It's
you
not.
were, I got a good Pickleman story after, but explain like what he would do. Like he would book like.
well, he would book these dive bars in like a real working class part of like Philadelphia and South Jersey.
Yeah.
And sometimes like he didn't make any money. No one showed up for the show, and he would pay you in pickles and horseradish and pig's
You're
knuckles.
fucking kidding me.
no, yeah.
I swear to God.
You know, it's funny. We work.
I have 2 jars.
So you, He actually, instead of giving you cash, he gave you a jar of pickles.
Sometimes, yeah, when he didn't make any money at the
And
bar.
what'd you do with the jar of pickles?
I gave my parents. And
I would throw it at the fuck.
what's the eggs?
Pickled eggs. Yeah.
Pickled eggs? Really?
The pickled eggs. It was fucking. And he used to.
How do you accept that as a comic?
Well, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
But they do.
Yeah, but we took him as a gift. Okay, now let me explain the story. Me and Florentine are working for the Pickle Man, right? We do the gig, we get paid, and he goes, "Hey, let me get you some pickles off the truck." So we're like, nobody's ever offered us pickles before after a show. So we're like, okay, let's go check it out. So we walk over to the truck. He pulls the fucking thing, goes fucking up like in Goodfellas or something like that. You think you're going to see all these cigarettes. You see these stuffed peppers, pickles in there, pepperonis. Yeah. I'm leaving with a pepperoni under my arm, which he gave it, a thing of pickles, right? Jim's got the stuffed pepper and the pickles, right? And he looks at me and he goes, "Why can't we work for the steak guy?" You know what I mean? Because it's like we're working for somebody named the Pickle Man. We're leaving gig, and then we did a gig. We're working at this gangster place, right? And it's a strip club, and it's a fucking a comedy club, whatever. They open it up. So between shows, they go into, you can go in there and whatever. All of a sudden, I don't know, something happened, and I had my dick out, okay? And fucking now a big chaos is going on. They bring me and Florentine into the office, right? And the owner, this fucking guy, he probably wanted to shoot us, but maybe he would have, but whatever. He goes like this. He goes, "What do you think? You're gonna just come in here and you're gonna pull your fucking dick out?" He goes, "Guess what? I'm gonna pay you your money, but you're not doing the late show." And fucking Vinny and Jim were outside. We go, "That was sweet." You know what I mean? We got paid not to do the late show, and you know what I mean. But it's like. These are the gigs. Like that was a normal experience on one of his gigs. You know what I mean? Like that was nothing like how comedy was back then. You go to a strip club, something's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's not right.
He besides booking bars, because when you first start doing comedy, you go, "Oh, I'm working," but then it takes you a couple of years to realize I can see no. But he wants.
That's what comics. I don't think they ever say no. I don't think a comic can say no.
But one of the outside gigs he had was a Jewish teen kids camp, and he booked me, another guy, and Gemini was the headliner, and he's real adamant. Don't be dirty. Don't be dirty. There's kids here. There's 12, 13-year-old boys here, and it's don't be dirty here. So I went up just to talk to the kids, have fun, not dirty. The second performer, not dirty. Well, Gemini, who's funny, he can work anywhere. He's a magician, ventriloquist.
Yeah,
he's a giant penis puppet. It's the size of a fire hydrant.
I wrote I gave him those jokes 20 years ago. He still hasn't added.
And his penis still the same.
And he brings the penis puppet out.
That's
and it looks like a penis.
It is a penis.
It's a big googly eyes.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I go, "Pickle Man, you said don't be dirty. He's got a giant penis pop up there." And he goes, No, it's okay. Look, you don't know what it is because they got a doily covering the balls.
He put a doily over
over the balls, so you couldn't tell what it was.
It was a talking mushroom, a magic mushroom.
I was unbelievable.
Did he put a hood on it?
Yeah, I mean,
circumcised or
yeah.
shit.
He's fucking doing rap songs with it.
This is what's going to happen to you in another year.
You're now a man.
But that's what it is. You don't know what. Look at it. You can't talk dirty. You have like John has this thing where if there's kids in the audience, you bring the kids on stage. It kills time. You bring them on stage to tell a joke.
Yeah.
So by the time they get up, now you're killing time. Killing time is something like that is the greatest feeling in the fucking world when you're killing time. And you have the kid. You got to work clean because of the kids. And the kid comes up and he's like, "Oh fuck." So I was raping this retarded. Oh, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And then now the kid ruins it for you. And they're like, "Why did you bring the fucking kid onto the, why would you put my kid on a microphone?" And now you're in trouble anyway, so you might as well say fuck and just call them priest bait what they are. I mean, what the fuck? Look, man, they shouldn't be there. Sorry. I'm not here to entertain you fucking kids. They're going to have to learn.
And Pickle Man's, like I said, I swear to God, when you worked for him years ago, he did the body of the Philly fanatic.
Yeah.
Well, he got stomach stapling surgery. And now he looks like a skinny Philly fanatic with a Rod Stewart wig on his head.
I mean, I just don't understand.
A couple years ago, and it made the headlines of the papers in town. He said he was it's a predominantly Irish and Polish neighborhood that some Puerto Rican guys came in and stabbed him in the neck.
They must have heard his act.
No, trying to rob him. But the cops
Did they hit anything? So big?
like feel up.
It's like acupuncture.
Thank God for that wig. It saved the knife from going through.
The cops knew that was very, very, very unusual for that happening in that part of town. They reached in the window of his pickle truck and stabbed him. Well, 2 days later, it turned out he was also a bookie, and he owed me money and he didn't have it, so the guy poked him in the neck with it.
Wow.
And somehow he got away with it. He didn't do any jail time for filing a false police report. And I'm not telling tales out of school. It made the headlines of the local paper.
I'm not telling tales out of school.
Tales from the Pickle Man. But it was it's just a character to see.
And this is
And he's still booking stuff.
Yeah.
And he walks into a building, into a business, and convinces them to do comedy. That's what's fucked up with this world. Okay?
And he used to book years ago, like Otto and George and Lisa Lampanelli and people who went on. But once in a while, people would take gigs from him because he had shows during the weeknights.
Yeah.
But you just walked out of it with a paycheck. You just wanted to get the hell out of there. Whenever you're done, if there was a pinball machine, you'd be performing next to a pinball machine.
Yeah, if you were
And a
lucky.
kid playing at it.
Yeah.
A 10-year-old playing at it.
Yeah, well, fucking, it's like, it's too much. Sometimes you gotta tell a club you can't. No, this isn't good for comedy.
Okay, but whose fault is it? Is the restaurant the venue's fault, or is it Pickleman's fault?
I think
Because he has no respect for comedy. if
Yeah,
he's
that's
doing
what
that.
it is. Because you have to go in there and say, look, this is set up for comedy. This could work. You know what I mean? I can do this. Otherwise, you're just you're an idiot owner to think that it would fit. And
Right.
and that's what the sad thing is. So both it's basically somebody trying to fuck you and you
He just
agreeing
wants to
that
make
it'll
money
work.
off you guys, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think he cares about the business.
You could just-
know? 'Cause you have to make no money. I book shows for no money.
Yeah.
I booked them where I didn't make a dime because I just wanted to book people I thought were funny. You know.
Yep.
And that's if this business went back to that, watch out.
and you're right. And it also like you have your notebook. You just know your jokes you're going to talk about. His shows, all I do is memorize an old dirty joke book, and it was a battle.
It's not comedy. It's not like fucking comedy. It's not what it's supposed to be. And you can't confuse people what comedy's supposed to be, because then they're just going to get confused.
How'd you get started, John?
As I went to Temple University, I got a degree from like radio, television, and film, and I always loved comedy. And when I was like 18 years old, I'd go to all the comedy clubs and see everybody. But you have that feeling of I can do that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And when I started going to the clubs, like 89, 90, who was popular then? Like Todd Glass.
Okay.
These guys all went to L.A., Paul F. Tompkins. And they're unusual. They're very different character comedians. But I started going there. And then, sometimes you don't realize because you want to get involved in your new hobby. I took a couple of comedy classes. Up in I didn't know, all right?
Dude.
I know. I might as well just got like $300 and threw out the window.
Yeah.
And I took the Steve Rosenfeld Comedy Experience in New York City.
I've heard that name.
And I think he might still teach it.
Wait, a comedy experience? Come on, it can't be that good of a ride. Oh my God, the comedy experience.
And this is like the early, like 1990. Like you thought, I'm going to New York, the biggest, most powerful city in the world. I'm learning comedy, and then, but after a while, you just got to do the shows, put your time and watch. Especially when you work at a comedy club, you observe, and you do absorb how to do it, and but that's actually how I did it. Then I just hooked up with different people, and I lived in L.A. for a year and a half, 2 years. It's weird too.
Big difference, East Coast, West Coast.
Oh man, and I've spoken with some comics out there who are pretty famous. I said this part of the country, in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, that you can work every weekend, a paying gig, 2-hour drive. Out there, what was it called? A Tribble Run. It's a guy who booked one-nighters, and you're driving in the sticks of deserts for $50, and it's the Pickle Man of the West Coast. And it's just
What's more cutthroat, East or West?
I like it here because you can hear my accent. This area we have like a working class. You tell it like it is. Out there, I remember one time I didn't say anything racist at all. I just said I live in an apartment house. There's all different people in my apartment house, and there's like I have Puerto Rican neighbors and Korean neighbors, and somebody thought I was being racist. I go, but they are Puerto Ricans who live next door to me.
Yeah, it's like you're not saying anything. You're just telling your story.
And you know, it's you'll meet a lot of your own club and other clubs. It's a lot of guys live in Los Angeles. But I talked to a comedian who I'm good friends with. I said, how do you like living in Los Angeles? And he said, well, my clothes are here. I got to go on the road to make my rent, to pay in Sherman Oaks or Thousand Oaks. I'm on the road 3 weeks a year to be able to live in Los Angeles. But as you get older, you think, well, I don't know. I just want to work. I don't know. It's expensive.
Yeah. That's funny, though. Mitch Fattel. Yeah, we all know Mitch Fattel. He moved out to Denver.
Wow.
And I said, well, why wouldn't you go to L.A.? He said, listen, I could live in Denver. Cheaper, get on a plane at 8 o'clock in the morning, be in LA for meetings, come home and have dinner with my family.
That's true.
That's so true.
That's why I'm moving to Florida, because it makes no sense.
It's only 2 hours away.
No, but what he's doing is smart. You're getting the best of both worlds, and you can do it without fucking and living the fucking life you want, and that's the most important thing. You know, because you're going to go crazy. Nobody can come around for this ride. You think a fucking wife can deal with this and kids? You can't come with this ride. You have to have a stable home. Otherwise, you're done. You're done. One of these things are falling apart, you know, unless you do it the right way.
And if you're right. If you live in Los Angeles, your rent's going to be so expensive. You have a wife, and their biological clock starts ticking. And she's like, all right, he's telling his jokes and
just getting around in L.A. You could be on the expressway for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And
I got a girl pregnant on a highway, and still, by the time we got off the exit, we delivered the baby. That's how fucking much traffic it was out there.
Oh, and it's
but it's a different thing. You can't live. You have to have some kind of place to relax, you know, and that's what home is to me. It's that place where you can get away from fucking everything, that nobody can come in here, and if they do, oh God, they're gonna be cut up into so many pieces because this is it. You know what I mean? This is where all the craziness stops, and I become dad or human. You know, and I'm human again because I'm living in this fucking business that'll just fucking, if you're not on your fucking toes, they'll fucking take your feet out on you. And you won't even fucking know it.
Well, that's something. A lot of comics, I mean, you'll see them. And this one guy, I'm going to say RM, he's up on stage. He is fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal act. Off stage. So awkward.
Really?
So awkward. Like, he can't even accept a compliment. Oh, gee, thanks.
See, that's weird that somebody can kill and then be...
Right.
Well,
A lot of comics have that.
Otto and George was like Otto Peterson. Was like that, you know.
A lot of guys are like that.
that's
I don't know.
That's true.
It's like I have nothing. I'll have fun.
You're the same guy on off stage.
No, but I'll have
You're
fun.
a little quiet off stage.
But I have fun. You know what I mean? I'm out.
Right.
I'm gonna have fun. I'm not just gonna sit there. We're gonna have fun with each other at the table. You know, I look over and I see you and Joe and his wife and my wife. Fucking, I'm busting balls.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not fucking just sitting here.
Right.
We're gonna have a good time. But it's a different kind of thing. This is like. That part is very enjoyable to me. I miss those times when you can just sit down and bust balls.
Right.
You know? Because it feels like I've been locked away for a few years. But, like, you know, I love that. But, you know, I am like that. But when I'm home, I'm dead. I'm just like fucking just sitting there like, Dom, get me the remote. Because I won't even reach for it.
It's right in front of you.
You know what I mean? That's the difference. When I'm home, I'm like fucking, I just talk to the dogs, you know what I mean? And just...
As long as they're not talking back to you.
Well...
They can look at you and talk back, but if you start hearing voices, then we're in trouble.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, there's 3 different stages of how to be a performer, I think, you know, and those are like them. You know, it's like you have to have fun. You have to, you know, you're on stage how you are, and then when you get off, when you're home, you have to be that different person. Yeah. Because otherwise you'll go crazy. You can imagine being the same person. Oh my fucking Lord. I couldn't deal with me. I can deal with 3 parts of me, but not all at once, you know.
It's very important to have that person in your life. I don't know if you're married or not.
No, I had a girlfriend.
And I tell you, I mean, my girlfriend now, I could, listen, you guys see the different side of it than what I see, what I go through every day.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking nightmare. I mean, I could be wired when I go, and she just has to go like this.
Yeah.
And I'm breathing.
Yeah, no,
breathing.
it is. I
Very
mean,
important to have somebody supportive next year.
Exactly, you know.
That's why when I was in L.A., I know some guys who were dating female comedians out in L.A. And I think they're very funny, but my God, comedians dating comedians, too neurotic.
Yeah.
You know, when I was
And
out,
I heard women comedians aren't good in bed. You know, like they always say they're not funny. Like that's all you hear. Like truthfully, but there is funny.
There's funny female comedians, yeah.
but ugh.
Well, I actually lost the comic who I was very friendly with. He started dating a comic. Thought she was funny. He said, you know, can you give her some spots? I let her come in on the open mic. Fucking bomb. Atrocious.
No.
Sent me an email the next day. Hey, we never went over dates for the club. I said, I'm sorry, you're not ready yet. And I haven't talked to that comic since that I was friends with. 12 years.
Oh, man.
Playing my club. I don't even talk to him anymore.
Jeez.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
There's a growing thing like I've seen online where a lot of female comedians are upset when they see a poster for a comedy show and they go, "Oh, another 5 white guys again." I'm like, there's plenty of females who are getting work. I don't want to turn into a discussion about that, but work is work. You got to be funny first. It's
you know, I'll get that every once in a while. People call up, you don't have a female comic coming up. Well, I do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not going to say that guys are funnier than women.
There's more of them.
But there's more guys.
It's like the
that's
black
all it
white
is.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's more whites than black people. That's why. You know, it is.
I mean, let's take a look at Philly. I mean, Helium. It's pretty urban.
oh yeah, it is.
pretty
Yeah,
urban.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I'm not in an urban area.
Exactly right. That's so true. It's you know what's his name? The guy who used to book for Letterman got in trouble for saying that, and he didn't say it meanly, and he's a very liberal gentleman. But he said, you know, there's more funnier guys than women, and it just didn't come out right. And I think he lost his job as the booker for the show. He still did warm-up act, but he was telling the truth. It wasn't not attacking, just fact is a fact.
Listen, I would love to have Chris Rock come to my club. I would love to have the little short guy. What's his name?
Oh, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, yeah. I'd love to have him come. They're not calling.
Yeah.
They're not
No.
calling. I mean, I've had Godfrey at the club. I have Corey Rodriguez, and you think by the name he's Spanish. He's blacker than black. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, as long as it's funny, it's funny. That's the whole
I mean,
thing.
who gives a shit?
It's like
but you know what I don't like though, and you could probably attest to this too. When a black comic or somebody who is disabled goes up on stage and they start talking about it, and they go for the pity thing.
Yeah.
I hate that. You know, like I always say, some black comics, and I get it, they'll talk about being black. Oh, listen, after 10 minutes, I know. We're not in a blind fundraiser here.
Yeah.
I can see you're black. Now please make me laugh.
Yeah.
Same thing with disabled. Same thing with Italian. I can see what you're doing. Stop it. Be funny.
That's so true. You're right. Make one comment about, then just
exactly.
Yeah, it's happened to me.
Yeah, it's like they're gonna say, you know that you have to break the ice, so break the ice and just move on, and just be funny, and then it's easy. Then comedy works the way it's supposed to be. You know?
I had Godfrey at the club once, and the first night there was a couple African Americans in. The second night there was nobody. So one of the first things he says on stage, Dino, nice job at the door tonight. Thank you.
You say that.
You know, but that's funny.
Yes,
That's funny. And then he went on to, being the funny guy.
One night I was hosting at a club, and a black comic came in who was blind. And
that lucky fuck. God damn it.
But
What a lucky motherfucker he is.
I had to lead him to the stage, and he did his act, and it was all about being black and blind. And if he did, say, he did 20 minutes, he was like a feature act.
And you can pay him MC money because he don't see what the money is.
At the end of his act, he took his glasses and a cane and goes, "I was only kidding around."
Are you serious? That's
And
fucking brilliant.
People were pissed off at him.
No, that is fucking.
wow.
That is hilarious. To me, that's fucking originality. That's fucking going through a bit. You know.
He was committed. I had to hold him by the arm up the steps and the.
Oh my god, that is the fucking greatest. I gotta meet this fucking guy.
I don't think he does it anymore. But I did work with a real guy who was blind years ago, and he told me, when you bring me on stage, have me face the wall.
That's fucking funny.
And it got a big laugh. That was funny.
You see, you have to have a sense of humor, otherwise you can't go on stage. You can't, you have to make fun of, if you know what I mean, if you're in a chair or something, you have to make fun of it because it has to break the ice. Otherwise, you can't just go up there in a wheelchair and not say anything. You can't just fucking go up there, where you're missing both arms and you got the mic in your mouth. You know what I mean? You can't just. You have to say something.
Like, sorry, I thought you were looking for stand-up comedy tonight.
But there's something you have to break the ice, because there's something. If the girl with two heads went on stage, right, and you had two mics, one here, and you would have to say something about it. You can't just go,
I hate this bitch.
Imagine, get me off her. Cut me off.
Well, you know what? But we talked about it last week. I mean, today's society, man, you can't say shit. I think that's fucking hysterical.
I say whatever the fuck I want. I just like to, you know what I mean? I'm not, look, I don't hate people. I don't fucking, I'm not racist. So I can say anything I want, have fun. I don't care. I don't mean anything I say. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm just trying to be funny, and that's all that matters to me. And if you get it, you're gonna get it really good. If you don't, I couldn't care less. Truthfully, I'm not here to fucking to win a fucking prize or a fucking championship.
I always tell people, listen, for an hour and a half, forget your asshole boss. Forget your miserable kids. Forget that you owe out $100,000 in credit cards. For an hour and a half, just fucking release your mind and fucking laugh. Because you know what? Those problems are going to be there the minute you walk out that door.
They totally are.
That's one of the worst things. It just makes you sick. After a show, you shake people's hands. Hey, good. When someone comes up to you and they say, word of advice, you just run away.
Oh, yeah. They have nothing. Look, either
that's a
say
sickening thing.
great or whatever, not great. Whatever. Don't give me advice. Don't give me.
I have some constructive criticism. See you later.
You have nothing to fucking tell me,
Oh, my God. It's brutal. A friend of mine, he was a very funny guy who used to drive a bus in Philadelphia for 27 years. He was very funny. He reminded me like you when you speak. Just tell it like it is. He had a joke in his act about he picked up a Guatemalan woman, got on his bus, and she tried to pay her fare with a chicken. And he goes, how do I make change for that? So I gave her 2 mangoes and a coconut. And everybody laughs. After a show one night, a woman came up to him and she said, my 2 children are adopted from Guatemala. And on behalf of them, fuck you. She started screaming at him.
That's great.
He goes, I didn't mean anything.
No, but that's great. What are the odds of that? I love
But
it.
we don't get a resume when you come in.
Exactly.
Okay, let me tell you something. Has anybody, killed himself in front of a train? Do you have a drug addict kid in your family? Did your husband cheat on you?
Everything.
We don't have the resume.
Yeah, but
don't have
look,
it.
it's like if you fall into it, just go with it. It's fucking funny. You know what I mean? There's a reason why we're saying it. Don't get fucking offended by it. Just fucking realize that, so what? Go with it. Just enjoy yourself. You can't say, oh, my God, my grandfather died of cancer. It's like anything. You can't say that. It's nothing to do with that.
Right.
It's just something, just fucking go with it. Let your mind open up and just.
There's that famous story that Larry Miller tells about. He did a prom show from a comedy club in Philadelphia. Yeah. But he's talking about, he was in front of high school kids, and he said, oh, man, I remember my old high school. I remember seeing my old teachers. I said, hey, Mr. Smith, I'm sorry for lighting you on fire that time in science class. Well, he said the crowd got real quiet, and he saw the principal saying, get over here, get over. And he went over, and the principal said, how could you? How could you say that? And he said, what? And he said, our beloved science teacher, Mr. Smith, died in a house fire last week.
Oh, my God.
And Larry Miller said, do you think I did research to say the worst?
Then why are you even out then? Go more.
That is
Go
fucking
more.
amazing.
And he goes, I didn't know this. I go, I live in California.
Imagine doing that much research to go to a town and just to piss them off. Like, I got to do that one time. Just go to somewhere and just find like a horrible crime, then get booked, and then open up with that and go, what the fuck? I didn't know anything about this. All right, just pay me. I'll go.
Take your money.
Get out. Take your money and get out of here, you making fun of the nun that got killed by a banana truck. It's like, what?
At least it wasn't a pickle truck.
Yeah.
All right, we need to take a break. Behind the Laughter, BeTerrific.com. Hey, everybody out there in podcast land. Are you a Reverend Bob Levy fan? if you are, show your support for When the Levy Breaks. You can get your When the Levy Breaks t-shirt. Look at this. Comes in black. That's all it comes in. Comes in medium, large, extra large, 2XL. If you're in the 3XL, 4XL range, as Bob would say, lose some fucking weight. But anyway, you can get your t-shirt. And also, Bob has another t-shirt, I Hate People. You want to get that at uvmerch.com. That's uvmerch.com. It says we ship out in 4 weeks. We ship out in 4 days. See you there. Get your shirts now. All right, we're back behind the laughter at BeTerrific.com. But, Bob, I got to file a complaint. Okay, BeTerrific.com. We came in last week. We did your show When the Levy Breaks, and we did our first show. What was in the kitchen? Do you remember?
What was in the kitchen?
Yeah, what was in the kitchen last week? You remember?
All that food.
Right, it was like sun-dried pesto wraps.
It was
with tuna fish on focaccia bread.
It was very sexy.
You know? You see what we got this week?
What? What do we got this week?
Leftover ShopRite football cookies.
Football? What kind? Wait, raspberry.
These are from Sunday. This is from Super Bowl Sunday. It's 3 weeks now.
Oh, wow.
This is what's in there. Football cookies. Yeah, I hear the program director laughing in the back. Yeah, you should be fucking laughing. $5.39 they spent. They got ripped off.
Wow. They do feed you. You can't beat that.
Well, you know what? At least we got fed, unlike some gigs. I'm sure you go to some gigs that give you like the comedy menu, and this is your comedy discount.
Yeah, so you can only have these one thing.
I won't have. Look, I'll be like, fuck you. Look, I'm like, I told a comedian. He booked me and this guy booked me and Doug Almeida, nice kid, This guy Danny booking a fucking great place, and he goes, here, here's your menu, and I go, Doug's gonna order too, and he goes, no, you want to give the headliner, and I pull him aside, I go, dude, don't do that, the comedians. I said, just feed them all or don't feed them all, okay, one way or another. Don't fucking. I go, the guy's from Florida, he's with me, you know what I mean? You booked him. And you're going to say that he has to pay for his dinner and I get mine free? I mean, it's not cool. And that's why, and he goes, wow, I never thought of it like that.
Our rule at the club is, put it this way, if you're a comedian on my roster, we consider you family. Mm-hmm. And if you bring your wife in, you bring your girlfriend in, you bring your husband in, we don't charge.
Wow. So if I bring my kid next time?
If he admits he's your kid.
Yeah, he will for a free meal.
I'll tell you this, though. There was one comic, a national headliner brought him in to open. Jerk off.
Really?
What a fucking jerk off.
Wow.
He had a cup of coffee. I told the server to charge him.
Really?
Fucking charge him.
Wow.
He was such a jerk off.
Wow, that's funny that somebody can be, I don't know. I'm mostly happy when I get to a club. I'm like, it's always a new thing.
You're happy.
Or
You know you're going to make money at the end.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Unless they bargain with you.
Yeah, well, no, they go. They call you 2 days before. And they go, "Can you do me a favor? I'm going to do you a favor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Were you going to give me more money if you did better?
Nope.
Look, and now you turn into a negotiator. Okay, now we're doubling down. Mm-hmm. Now you want me to do you a favor? I'll double down with you because you're a panicking motherfucker. So I'll double down with you. And then if we get this amount of people, you pay this. If we get this much, now we're working together. I'm not just doing you a favor. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now we're even.
Now I want to do a deal all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, it went to a guarantee. Now it went to this guarantee with a bonus up to this because you wanted me to do you a favor. You needed a break. Ugh. It's not my fucking fault. It's business. If you think it's business, I think it's business. Deal with me. God.
I had one agency. They reached out to me and I booked a comic. And they wanted a door deal involved. So my club holds 140. So I said, okay. Sells 100 seats, he gets 500. Sells 200 seats, gets 1,000 extra. No, we want bonuses on each show instead. Mm-hmm. Well, you dumb fuck. Ugh. I'm giving you a better deal. Yeah. Because if you bomb on Friday and you sell out on Saturday because Saturday night's the normal night that people come out, you just made a score. I'm like, okay. Guy made nothing.
But
he sold like 80 tickets one night. He sold like 75 the next night.
But that's what it is when people know, they think they know this business, and they don't know the business.
But that's their agent.
I know that,
doing
but
that.
it doesn't matter because everybody's inept in this business. A lot of people, it's just the way it is. They don't know the fucking business.
No.
The business would never suffer if people knew the business. They don't know it. They fucking anybody can make believe, can put on a badge and say that I'm
They're
a
a cop.
comedian, they're a booker, they're anything. They could say anything. They could say anything these days. And it's like, wow, this guy he's a booker. Now because he booked one show, he's a booker.
He's a booker.
You know what I mean? How does that make you a booker?
Who makes him a booker? It's those desperate comics out there.
Yeah.
Oh, Joey has a room.
That's true.
It's
Oh, a new room opened up. Yeah, they serve bagels at 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's like you can do it. Like we were talking about the Perkins thing. He was at the Wid was at the Perkins. The Wid.
The Wid.
He was the Wid.
All right, so for people who don't know, John Kensil is the personal opener for the Wid.
Well, he
If you don't know the Wid, he's an uglier Carrot Top.
Yes.
but he was
that
the
could
first
be
one.
possible.
He was the first one, wasn't he?
He's from Cranford, New Jersey, but he's a prop comedian. But it's just he amps it up. He's
All props.
and he's a wordplay and he can work a crowd. It's Carrot Top on steroids. Oh, Carrot Top's kind of different, but he's.
But wasn't Wid first?
Yeah. Wood had I think it was an antique shop in New Brunswick, and he started going to open mic nights with a handful of props, and we get groans, and then when you're drunk, he's showing you the punchline.
Yeah.
And it just makes, but he's like, that's why I call him legendary. People go, I saw that guy on TV 30 years ago.
Wow.
But I work with him a lot, and it's just but he did a Perkins. What would you call Perkins? A pancake house?
Yeah.
But you just said about booking shows. I'm like, oh my God, it's a Perkins. It's not, and it wasn't a designated room. It was right in the middle of the dining area. There's
Right
no
next
kids
to
running.
right next to the menus was the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you gotta fucking draw a line.
I guess, and plus, some people are desperate. Like if that's comedies are only it's a Thursday night show. But boy, that was. And do you think the room manager likes seeing boxes of hula hoops and Captain Crunch dolls being put on the floor for his prop?
I booked them once.
Yes, I was there for that.
And you know what? And this just shows that it doesn't matter what I think. It's what the customers think.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
It was so exotic and out there, like fucking
Oh yeah.
comical. Like I feel like I could have brought kids there on some of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
And my fans just looked like, who the fuck is this guy on stage?
Wow.
What is he? And you know what? That's why I never booked them again.
Yeah, because
You know, I love them. I would probably pay to go see them.
we've done we were mentioned earlier about that. Danny Aiello had a comedy club up in.
Yeah, rest his soul.
But I did I brought wood there. It was called like upstairs at Danny's. It was the second floor and up in
No
Hobo.
elevator either.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But-
Look at those boxes upstairs.
At the end, during the middle of the show, because Danny Aiello was a great guy, he put his hand on my shoulder. He goes, "John, this guy's a fucking piss. I'm pissing myself." But it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's a in a smaller comedy club. It's a tight. You know what's weird? I've seen him do shows. I usually need props and just had a fun time, like a vaudeville act.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you do that all the time? I got a 30-year-old pickup truck when driving your crap around.
Yeah.
It looks like Sam and his son going down his old
The
truck.
Clampets. The Clampets.
But look, I mean, he's been around, a long
Years.
time. Yeah. But yeah, I get a kick out of it. You know what I mean? Would I be proud to, you know what I mean, to sell that to what I think comedy is?
yeah.
Probably not.
No.
But the fact is that it is fucking really funny. But if it doesn't, it's not what the brand I would say I would like to bring to a
Oh,
stage.
of course.
It's tough to put it on a comedy calendar.
It
It's
is.
something to do like a specialty show.
Yes.
You know.
And it's amazing then.
He used to have another guy before me who had a truck, and they were going
Oh,
down.
he's a
Oh, that's a
truck.
prerequisite?
Yeah,
Go
he's a-
perform, you
he's-
need a truck?
He's a truck fucker. He really is. This is fucked up.
but they were going down to Atlantic City on the Garden State Parkway, and the back door popped open. And
There goes my act.
3/4 of your stuff got pulverized.
I'm down to 10 minutes.
Did he go tape it or did he buy new stuff?
Yeah.
He probably went to the Goodwill store.
Oh Jesus! That's the one thing. If you're a prop act, you got to buy new stuff. You can't put duct tape on it and fix it.
Yeah, that looks pretty silly. But
There's one of our comedians that we use. He opens up with a little fishnet dick. The balls are falling off the dick. But you know what? Spend $20. Buy a new dick. Buy a new dick, please.
it's not hard to find. In the comedy section. In the comedy section.
I'm sure you go to a porn site somewhere, you can find a dick.
That's true. I'm using my wife's stuff from my act.
And it's weird, like you say, it's a specialty act. But he's been on that show Make Me Laugh.
Yeah.
With comics, and he was on 30 Seconds of Fame. I think he auditioned for America's Got Talent, or the others. America's Got Talent, and he said he didn't sign a release. He didn't like how it went because when you go for that audition up in New York, you're at a theater. They hate you. They hate you. So he said he didn't sign a release, but I don't know how true that is.
He doesn't get on stage then.
But then like 2 months later, some old prison guard from Long Island or Long Island did a prop act, and it was very similar to Wid's. I'm like, Wid, that could have been you. Yes. But the crowd booed him too.
You're gonna get booed. Look, it's just like if you're normal, unless you got a limp or a fucking something, you know.
Yeah, working comics today will look at him like, nah, he's not a comic.
It's weird. Yeah.
Even ventriloquist too.
There's ventriloquist from Middle Jersey. His initials are PM, and he's also in a Beatle cover band. And he has an African American puppet. And I was at a show one night, and he was on the stage, and a woman was drunk in the audience. And she's just relentless, like, shut up. So finally he said, lady, what's your problem? And she was so drunk, she said, I don't like how you're talking to that baby.
Oh, my God. That is hilarious.
And then they threw her out. When the headliners, they finally threw her out. She disrupted the whole show until that happened.
That is hilarious.
Well, I remember an Otto and George story. I wasn't there for it, but Otto pissed somebody off so bad that the guy went to stab the puppet.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I remember
What?
that.
Are you kidding me? You're stabbing a puppet?
That's what they thought it was real. You know what I mean? But look, alcohol will fuck you up, you know, and so will other shit. And if you see a puppet fucking pissing you off, you're gonna say something, you know, if you're fucking drunk. You know, there ain't no fucking puppet gonna fucking disrespect me and my girl. You know, that's the way I look at it. This shit's going downward, boy.
That's that. You know, like you say about Wid being it's like a vaudeville act. But
Yeah.
it's a shame. Like Otto and George, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then the other guy, Vince D'Antona. And
Oh, rest in peace, Vince.
And there's no more acts like that.
Him.
Nobody does anything like that anymore.
Vince, Jesus Christ.
He was such a
One day, he always like sat in my office before the show, and one day I hear him talking. Who the fuck's he talking to?
He's warming up.
He's talking to the puppet.
Yeah.
I slide the door open. He's actually having a conversation with the puppet.
Oh yeah.
Like, Vince, you okay? Yeah, we had to discuss something.
It is
Close the door to
fucking.
get the fuck out of there.
Look, I know from being around puppet acts, they're all fucking. Yeah, they think it's real, and I'm used to it, and it's just like I see crazy shit, and I'm like, oh, that's supposed to happen. You're supposed to talk to it. Wasn't for that puppet, you would have. You know what I mean? That is your personality. That is you coming out, and that's what you created. That fucking whatever it is, like Otto, with George, what he created was something so brilliant and sinister and fucking. Oh my God, it's amazing. That's what you know you love about the business. You know.
But I think they need that for the security of their bit.
Yeah, you know, it makes them feel comfortable because they're out there. They have this great mind, but they're shy somehow. They need something to put it there, and that creates the genius comes out more.
Yeah,
and that's definitely what Otto. All right, we got to get out of here. I got to feed the dogs.
Uh-oh. We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
BeTerrific.com. Behind the Laughter, John. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Johnny. Good
All right,
job.
Bobby. See you in a couple weeks.
You got it.
Later.
Man. Take care.